that from the perspective that we're looking at right now? Because, of course, your first thought is, potential injuries.
Yes, no, unfortunately, through my perspective, I haven't been able to see anything coming out of that area. But I have seen ambulances, fire trucks, and police vehicles going in the direction of where the sound came from.
And Hector, at this point, are you able to see outside of your building? Like if you, let's say, needed to go down, get your car and leave at this point, you're more than 4 blocks away from where this has happened. Is that a reality for you at this point, or are you just having to stay put?
Currently, we haven't really made a full decision here, but we are within the realm of being able to go out and get into our vehicles if needed. Where we park is in the opposite direction of where the incident happened.
I would imagine that a lot of office workers
of mine.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, some fellow coworkers of mine do park a little bit more in the direction of that area, but we haven't been really instructed that it's not safe for us to leave, due to the proximity.
Yeah, I would imagine that a lot of people are, trying to gather as much information as they can and looking out any windows that might give them any clue as to what's happening down there, too.
Yes, that's very true, sir.
Well, Hector, you stay safe down there. Again, we don't know all of the details of what has happened at this hotel that's about 4 blocks away from you. Thank you so much, though, for shedding some light on what you heard. Again, an explosive sound, Hector, describing to us there, coming from that SANDMAN hotel at Houston and 4th Streets. That's in downtown Fort Worth. We saw that firefighter walking through that debris field there just a moment ago, and it really gave you some perspective as to.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. I saw this happening right now, this situation in Fort Worth. This is in Texas for the people that are just joining. And I don't know what's going on. This just literally broke, 20 minutes ago or something. Huge explosion. There's been reports of injuries. I don't know if there's deaths or not. I mean, this thing is huge. Huge explosion. I was preparing for a little stream tonight on Savannah, but I've been holding as much as I could because there hasn't really been much. There's very little we can talk about. They went to commercial here.
I haven't seen any firefighters go in. That would lead me to believe that they aren't in a rescue operation on this side of the building from what we're looking at. I don't know what the other side of the building looks like, but this is where the worst damage seems to be, and they're not running inside to help people out of it. So that makes you wonder if there was some kind of warning. We don't even, to tell you the truth, know if in fact this hotel has been operational this week, today. So maybe there was work going on inside it. We're going to get all of that for you. But look at the destruction, and a forceful explosion happened there. Now, just at the bottom of your screen, you see a police car shutting off 7th Street and some police officers on this side of Houston Street. So they're going to go through the debris and try to see if there's anything in the debris, of course, and depending on what they think caused this, there'll be more investigative teams out there, whether it be from an energy company or from somebody like the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, or whatever, because the force of this thing makes you think that if there aren't
clues or something,
a lot of injuries, we got lucky in downtown Fort Worth. Because if someone had just been walking by on the sidewalk, that would have been very serious. All right, what should we do? Should we stay with this for a little while until we get more information?
Maybe a gas explosion.
I'm happy to do that. The pictures are just awful, and we hope people are okay. But the urgency amongst the firefighters there seems that they're calm, and they're not rescuing people right now. We only have this side of the building. We'll watch it. If Sky 4 goes on the other side and finds something you need to see, if we get new information about the possible cause, if we have any interviews with people coming out or who saw it or know what's going on, we'll pass all of that along as our phone calls start to be returned.
So this happened around 3:30 p.m., which I guess is probably Texas time, I'm sure, because this is in Texas. Monday afternoon, multiple 911 calls were received about an explosion at the SANDMAN Hotel in the 800 block of Houston Street in downtown Fort Worth. Fort Worth police and fire crews arrived to find heavy damage from the building and multiple injured persons. A second alarm was requested to the scene, along with AM, ambulance bus, and MedStar EMS. Initial reports indicate the explosion is gas-related. Authorities are still working to identify the cause. Several ambulances have been requested to the scene for several individuals with minor injuries. Hopefully nobody's dead in there. Hopefully nobody died.
The face of the building that was blown out.
Right.
And why they're cutting it into and concentrating on that, I'm not quite sure at this point. But you can see firefighters really all over the scene, probably going at this point, room to room, just to make sure that everyone is accounted for. And as you mentioned, that no one is trapped.
Yeah,
and
let me look it up. Let me look at the hotel.
I can't imagine that. It's 4:20 right now. If this happened in the 3 o'clock hour, I can't imagine that they're done with that part of this response. I'm sure they're still trying to figure out if there are any more injuries. This is very, very early on, obviously, and you can see some investigators down below also taking some photos of the site there. I know we have Jason Allen. Jason, if you can hear me, this is Ken and Karen. We are live right now, so I want to toss it out to you. What are you seeing? Obviously, we're getting the chopper views, but what do we know about what's going on from the ground from where you are?
So we're at 9th and I'm checking 9th and Houston right now. So we're just about a block or so south of the blast site, and I'll let Mike kind of go in so you can get a view and get a look from the ground. I know that you guys have been watching some of that video from the chopper, so you maybe have a better view really than even we do on the ground of just kind of the expanse of this. I can tell you that this whole area of downtown is all blocked off for several blocks to the north of the blast, and then at least down here, maybe another block, it looks like south of us. So probably all the way down to 10th or 11th Street that's blocked off, and then for a couple blocks of either side. So a pretty good portion of the downtown. You got to walk in here from a few blocks away. I can tell you as we were walking up, there were pieces of debris that you could see on the sidewalk. A lot of insulation, things that could be blown around in the winds. You know how it is when you get here to downtown and the wind just kind of swirls in and out of the building. So a lot of the debris blown through to the east side of downtown. Right? And I know you were saying this came in as a possible natural gas explosion. It was very evident even when we first got in here to the downtown area. You could smell that pungent smell of natural gas in the air, at least to the east side, the direction the wind is blowing. So I know you've been talking about them cutting and working and probably looking to probably shore up some of these portions of the building that have been heavily damaged. But there is still, at least from what we could smell here when we got here, definitely some natural gas maybe still hanging in the air. As much as the people here in downtown, there isn't a huge amount of people here. It's about maybe normal what you'd expect for this time of the day downtown. There are some people who are leaving work. There are a lot of people who are down here and just kind of standing around and trying to get a sense of what happened and what was going on. It's very calm. There isn't a big rush of activity. Nobody seems really panicked. I think there is still some concern, not entirely knowing what happened as far as the safety, and so that's why you have this big, wide section of downtown that is blocked off right now. But hang on, I'll back you off just a second, Mike. There's still a lot of police and firefighters that are moving in and out of the area right now, all around this entire scene. But again, getting back to the people that are down here, they're kind of standing around and they're taking pictures, and everybody seems pretty calm with everything right now. But this has absolutely impacted a major section here, the central part of downtown. Karen, looks like just from the size of the blast and the amount of debris, it's probably going to impact things down here for probably some time to come.
Yeah, this is something that obviously, thankfully, we don't see very often in downtown Fort Worth. This actually reminds me of March of 2000 when we had the tornado that came through and damaged so many buildings there in downtown. And it does. It has, they're going to be cordoning off sections of the downtown area to keep people away so they can clean this up and get to the root of what happened here.
I want to sort of draw your attention back, because we have the shot up now to it's now sort of center screen now, that hole that you see the sidewalk. This is what actually Jeff Ray came out and pointed out to us, because we couldn't see this the first time we took the shot. But look at...
They cut it out. That's a weird way to cut it when they're talking. The hotel has really good reviews. It's been open. SANDMAN Signature Hotel. They have a couple other channels. Cut it off like that. I guess they got to do their commercials. Where are we at? me see. Watch live. There we go. Oh, so here's a chopper feed I got at least. So at least when they cut out the commercials, I can just pull up the chopper feed. But it's this huge ass explosion that took place. They believe it's gas related, like a gas thing or whatever, you know. I was actually prepping for a live stream to do later with you guys, but I figured let me just jump on anyway for this, since it's been like there's really not many updates with Savannah. But I suspect something will come out tonight a little bit as far as Matthew's funeral. We're going to talk about that later. I also want to try to catch Carlos later if we can, so probably be doing something a little bit later, just trying to gather as much as I can. But as far as with this, there's not much information. It's all coming out that there's just multiple injuries reported following a gas explosion. Now, ABC 13 is saying a gas explosion. Debris is scattered in the streets. They're really like searching hard. Let me show you another angle. This is interesting. Searching hard through the debris, but like to me, it's not like looking for bodies. I'm not sure what they really look for. I don't know if it's like, I'm not sure what they're looking for, really. Let's see if this will start up.
Texas is downtown at a hotel.
Team was staying all over this severe weather coverage here in southeast Texas. And again, Erica, you know this area well, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
And an explosion like this, I mean, just look at it right here in downtown Fort Worth, really just going all over the street, across the street from where it is.
Downtown Fort Worth is just as active and busy as downtown Dallas. A lot of people think about Dallas, but of course the Metroplex made up of Dallas, Fort Worth, and all the tons of suburbs in between. I'm from one of those suburbs. But yeah, I mean, clearly it's a new year. People are in town for all types of reasons in a big metropolitan area like that. So hopefully the injuries are not severe. We don't know if these were guests or people walking on the street or who exactly got hurt, but it's certainly not a good scene to see for sure. I mean, the damage looks pretty bad just from the early look that we're getting.
And again, we are told that this has been a gas explosion. Fort Worth Fire is on the scene in downtown Fort Worth, and you can see the outer perimeter here well away from that building we believe to be a downtown hotel, an awful place to have what we think again is a gas explosion. This live from Fort Worth. We have much more coming up on this and the weather in southeast Texas. Stay with us here on Eyewitness News at 4.
Massive gas explosion. By the way, let's check with the weather. Let's see how the weather's going on. Yeah. Wow, look at the damage, man. Holy crap. I mean, it looks like even the second floor, at least up to the second floor, you see the SANDMAN sign there. So there was nobody in the building? I mean, when I looked online, it looks like a pretty active hotel. Nice hotel. This is straight out from the chopper feed. So whenever they cut off, I'm just gonna pull up the chopper feed. Let me see it. I got my Texas friends texting me. Texting me. All right, we got a new article here. Thank you, Michelle. It says here, what we got? At least 11 injured. Fort Worth police responding to a major incident. Okay. Wow. Shit, just stay at home. I was talking about going to Texas. I don't want to go to the mall. Oh yeah, by the way, we're almost at 200K, which is nice. We're at 199.17. 199,017. So yeah, just kind of cruising, checking out what the heck happened here. Hopefully there's no casualties. Massive explosion. By the way, I don't know if you guys followed that whole thing where the that person in court attacked a judge. How many of you guys seen that in the chat where the guy jumped over the desk or whatever? Well, apparently there was an update. That judge wanted him back to finish off the sentence his ass or whatever it is that she was going to do. Check out how they brought this guy in this time. They had that guy fully garbed up. You got hands are encased in whatever it is, the sponge stuff, or whatever that is. You can't. Hands are encased. Your face has mesh, so I guess you can't spit or whatever. a mouth guard so you can't spit or bite. Chain, double and triple chained.
That has blown out
Probably have a
windows and
shock
doors
device
on the
on them,
first 2 floors of that building.
We have heard reports that paramedics are helping people who've been hurt in this blast. However, we do not have any specific numbers of the injured, and it is too early to determine what might have sparked this blast. You can see the pictures of the building blown apart. These are live pictures from Texas Sky Rangers. There is debris that's crossed the street, and several streets in downtown Fort Worth have been shut down now because of the safety concerns, as first responders handle the initial work of helping the victims and then searching for anyone who might be trapped inside this building.
Some ATF agents have responded to the scene, preparing to help in the investigation as needed, since the cause of the blast is not clear right now. But so far, and it's early, there is no sign of a crime. But again, it is very early in this investigation. Teams are asking people to avoid this area.
It's being dubbed the gas explosion, but I guess they're still investigating. And they're taking pictures. I haven't really seen anybody go in. And the thing is, I don't know what they would have to do, because maybe it's dangerous. Maybe that something collapses. They don't know if what could fall, probably on top of them. I pretty much seen them on the outside, but there's a ladder there to the side. So I don't know if they maybe climbed up the side and checked or screamed. Look, there's 2 ladders on the side. I mean, it could have been. Maybe they went inside. I didn't see him.
Killing a high school drill team member who just given birth a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Ikea Hood died in a shooting.
So it just keeps swapping.
1 person listed as critical, 2 others as injured, more seriously, not critical, but nothing either. And then the others, the other
end of times, huh?
8 are probably
2024, right?
Cuts like that, but they're listed as green. They go on a green, yellow, red color coding system, and 1 in condition red, 2 in yellow, and the rest in green. We don't know, again, what caused this, but the force of it we know was big. Yeah. We now know it was enough to hurt 11 people.
11 people.
Here's the bad thing. So for the next hour, 2 hours of our newscasts, we are not going to be able to show you this picture again, because President Biden is coming to the area, and there's a 2-hour flight restriction in this area before and after the president arrives. And so this is why we're going to kind of get you the latest information, then tell you about it during our newscast coming up. So there's been a big explosion, knocking out bricks, windows, door jambs, complete pieces of coverage. And there are police officers. Now, remember, initially there were firefighters in their gear. Now there are police officers. The men in black, there are darker uniforms, are police officers, and they're kind of going through the debris. So this would lead to believe that nobody really knows, even employees of the building, that they don't have an initial indication of why. There was nothing for sure. A boiler started making a noise, and then so they're going to look for evidence, gather any while they're on the scene fast and first, and get it in case they see something suspicious. So that doesn't mean it's suspicious in nature. They just want to get the evidence gathered. It's been raining today. They don't need to lose any evidence in the meantime. So police officers on the scene, as you might expect, and firefighters have gone to another portion. We don't even see each other right now, but you should know, as long as we've been here, we haven't seen anybody moving fast and forcefully. So whatever has happened has happened. The people injured have been transported and treated, and now it's an investigation piece, because nobody's moving quickly to rescue. There's no more rescuing going on as far as I can see from this picture. So we're going to wrap this up for now and promise to give you all the information on Fox 4 News at 5 o'clock when we get started. It also looks like those guys in the yellow below are again looking where some firefighters, right on the bottom middle of your screen, there were some firefighters really interested in that kind of down piece of wall. They were picking at a window, or the center thing running up and down the street kind of looks like it's wood, and they were taking a very close look at it. And now it looks like those are some sort of construction guys or engineers in hard hats and yellow. They're looking at the exact same spot. I don't know what they're looking at, but 3 firefighters were kind of kicking at that piece of fallen wall, and now, okay, so I can't see this, but I'm told those are Atmos Energy employees with the gas company, and they're looking in the same place that the firefighters were kind of kicking around. So I I don't know what that means. I'm just giving you observations from what we can see and what we've learned for now. All right, that's what we know. 11 people injured. As far as their conditions, we will tell you that, I just got something in to tell people, if you're concerned about people, if you know people who are working in this area and you haven't gotten a hold of them, there's a family reunification area for those involved in this incident or close to it who maybe can't get their cars or something for some reason. That's in Sundance.
I walked in 2006 in Atlanta.
They keep cutting them out. Oh, it's their ad break. So I guess because Biden's coming in, they're not going to be flying out there. I got another feed here, though. At some point, they're going to have to leave once Biden gets there. Mr. Biden. I'm going to set up tonight's stream, too. I don't want to take a risk showing that video. I mean, people told me, I guess, Court TV showed it. I don't want to get this live age restricted or have any problems with YouTube. But what I will do in the meantime, I'm going to schedule a live stream for tonight. I'm just trying to wait till a little develops. I'm thinking 9 o'clock maybe. I could go live earlier, but I think to play it safe, maybe 9 o'clock. That way I'll get everything done I need to get done in the house. If I have to come earlier, I just jump on earlier. But I'm gonna set the live stream up now. And you guys, what you do is when you go over there, I'll transfer people, just hit remind me. There's like a thing that says remind me, or like notify me. And if I have to go earlier or later or whatever. I mean, I'll hang out as long as the live feed is showing, but once they shut down the feed, there's nothing else. Oh, you guys are on Tornado Watch? Oh, okay. Oh, snap. Tornado Watch. Oh, where can you watch the video of the people jumping? What do you type? I think you would type Las Vegas man attacks judge. It's all over the place. If you just type it in Google, it even auto-completes it for you, so you don't even got to type the whole thing. Type it in on Google and go to videos, and it pops up. It'll pop up. You're sleeping at 9? Oh, maybe you got to be up early. Well, my number one demographics is Cali, so they're 3 hours behind, so they'll definitely be up. And then Texas is 1 hour behind, so more than likely they'll be up. It's the people on the East Coast that maybe at 9 they'll start getting ready for bed. Where were the people at that were just walking here? Let me see. Yeah, you guys got a big tornado watch. Tornado watch versus warning. Thousands of CenterPoint Energy customers without power during storms. Oh boy. I'm revamping my hurricane power outage closet. So I've been storing up some water. I got my fans, flashlights, candles, and battery operated candles. I have a couple things there. I'll slowly start working it up again. Pigeons everywhere at the sign. What's that Netflix movie? The whack movie? Not The Last of Us. Something.
That have been blown out on the first 2 floors of that building.
We have gotten some reports that paramedics have responded to help people who've been hurt in this blast, and we did see ambulances. However, we do not have any specific numbers of the injured, and we're not exactly sure what caused the blast, but Texas Sky Ranger is above the scene right now. The SANDMAN Hotel. This is on in Houston Street in Fort Worth. Oh. And here's some video shot by Josh Ingleton earlier, right after. You still see the smoke coming out of that building. The people at the scene. There's debris everywhere, blown across the street. And from the video and from the pictures, we can see that the two bottom levels of that hotel appear to be blown out in several different directions. And again, this is video shot at the scene by Josh Angleton, showing just the chaos that's happening there.
Yeah, it's simply too early to tell what caused this blast. We do know that ATF is on the scene in preparation to help as first responders go in and assess the situation. We want to bring now on the phone with us a forensic fire investigator.
Oh, nice.
Mark Goodson. Mark, thanks for being on the phone with us. What steps would be happening right now in the very early stages of this investigation?
Well, the early steps of the investigation are first off to cut off the source of gas to the building. Then after that, you have the obvious making sure the building is even safe to enter. There may be structural damage that needs to be shored up. But after the shoring up, you would start to look for something unusual like a gas leak. Now, the explosion will cause gas pipes to fracture, to leak, and things like that. However, we're looking for the source of a gas leak, meaning like a loose fitting or a corroded hole, something that would not naturally be occurring. And you would also want to look at prior work done in perhaps recent weeks to recent days by perhaps a plumber or maintenance man who is working on some type or some portion of the gas system. In this kind of weather, what comes to mind is something involving either a water heater or a boiler or some type of furnace.
Okay, and Mark, we are getting confirmation from the ATF that this was a natural gas explosion. How long do these types of investigations usually take? And from what we've seen of this explosion, those bottom two floors, the windows blown out, is this typically how it looks when a building of this size?
That is exactly how it looks, yes.
And how long will it take for this type of investigation to proceed?
It could take, first off, several days to identify the offending part or parts of the system. And then after that, it could be several weeks to several months. The part or parts that are offending would be removed and probably shipped to the ATF laboratories for what we call metallurgical studies.
And Mark, I'm curious because we don't see a big fire here. Typically when we have these explosions, do they happen like this where, you know, there's the explosion, but not necessarily the building is not in flames for a long period of time?
Oh, absolutely. If someone gets on the gas system pretty quick and shuts it down, you expect the explosion, and then the fire can be snuffed out pretty quickly if you can get to the source of the gas system or the gas supply and cut it off.
And Mark, we know, we're hearing from MedStar that there have been at least 11 reported injuries. This was an active hotel, taking in guests daily. It's also in a historic building. Would the history of the building, its age, play a factor?
It could, in terms of the piping, if there was corrosion. The other thing that we have noticed lately in our engineering lab is that some people, let me back up. All natural gas is odorized because it can't be smelled naturally, and it has a chemical put in it called mercaptan. And mercaptan gives the bad smell to natural gas and is readily recognized. What's happening the last few years because of COVID, we have had explosions occur in which the persons did not detect gas just because they've lost nasal sensitivities or olfactory sensitivities to the odorant because of the COVID virus.
Oh, that's interesting. We should also mention that the county judge, Tim O'Hare, has already asked that all county buildings there in downtown remain closed for the day. That includes jails, law enforcement buildings. If the gas, of course, has been turned off to this building, is the threat over?
Presumably, yes.
Okay. Mark Goodson, talk to us a little bit about similar investigations that you've been a part of. How did those play out? And ultimately, if it is a natural gas explosion, a natural gas to blame, what would occur?
Well, what occurs is obviously the gas leaks. We find a loose fitting. Sometimes fittings can even be damaged by electricity. We've seen that from lightning or electrical current passing through a gas line. It causes a fitting to actually weld open. And those things are pretty easy to find after an explosion. The electricity damaging a gas line is not uncommon. The loose fittings will probably be found, and sometimes you can even find some erosion of the metal where the gas has been slowly seeping out, and you can find evidence of that. And perhaps the venting changed today. There's no way to say exactly how long this leak has been taking place, but it could be a short incident, or it could have taken place over some time.
So it could have been building up, or it could have just happened in just the last couple of days, you're saying?
Absolutely.
Wow. So in this particular case, again, we're hearing 11 people injured. When you see the size of this building and you understand you see the blast itself, could it have been a lot worse? Is it surprising to hear that 11 is a lot and it's very serious, but are you surprised it wasn't worse?
Fort Worth, yeah.
It could be a lot worse. Luckily, this is an old building. Probably the foundation and the structure is in very good shape. I hate to evoke sad memories, but
the whole thing coming out?
These kinds of things can topple buildings like we had with the World Trade Center. Granted, a different situation with jet fuel and the lack of a working fire suppression system, but it would not be surprised in some circumstances to see a building collapse.
Oh,
Mark Goodson, forensic fire investigator. Thank you so much.
I didn't even think about that. They're gonna have to check the structure, the integrity of this building. I would never go back in there. I mean, I guess the whole thing is a hotel. I noticed this bottom part here from under the ground is like really ripped up. They haven't mentioned any casualties. They said 11 people injured. Also that let's see what they have to say. That Biden's coming to the town, so they're not gonna be able to fly the helicopters.
Oh, and pretty much as close as you get is maybe a block, 2 blocks away from that scene. That's as close as we are. We've been able to speak to mostly employees who were around the area. I actually just met Mustafa. Mustafa, why don't you join me over here? So what'd you hear when this happened?
I heard like a loud boom, and I thought it was like a thunderstruck, but it wasn't thunder. It didn't really sound like thunder, because the way it sounded, it was just like way too loud to just be thunder. And I'm working at Pax Beneficia Coffee, and around like 10 minutes after, I go outside and I see smoke and debris outside, and I got people from in front of us. Everyone's outside the building checking it out. I see white smoke in the air, and I mean, it was crazy. And then I hear a bunch of sirens just coming in and emergency service vehicles, and it got really scary for a little bit. So it kind of worried me out.
Mustafa, did you see anyone run out of that hotel?
No, I wasn't there to see anybody run out, but I just see a bunch of smoke in the air.
Thank you so much. And around this time, people walking around, of course. Adam, he was telling me that he was on 8th Street, correct?
Yes, that's 8th Street is actually where the explosion happened. I was parking the car. I work valet. I was right before I was about to turn the corner before I seen the explosion. I felt it throughout the car. Like it felt like a thunderstorm or something like that. I don't know what it was, but it's just like it just turned the corner, and it just came out of nowhere. And then another valet dude, he said, "Don't go down the street. Don't go down the street." And I'm like, "Why?" And I'm looking, smoke everywhere, just like, oh my gosh. So I went around to go see.
And at that point, what did you see? How bad is the damage around that area?
It's very bad. It's like the whole first floor, like the SANDMAN hotel right next to the garage where we park our cars. It's like everything's just like blown up. People coming out of the building. Like it was kind of scary. I didn't know what to think. It was kind of scary.
Adam, thank you so much. Are you able to go back to work, or what's going to happen with employees around the area, or at least where you work?
I'm not sure. I think they're ready to call it a day for work and everything. I'm just baffled, because I was literally 5 seconds from turning down the street, and it was almost like that could have been me. I seen a lady walking down she was walking down that street as well, and she got caught up in it. I was like, it's very sad. It can happen to anybody.
Thank you, Adam. And that's the scary part. Again, people in downtown Fort Worth walking to their jobs, maybe grabbing something to eat. Just a few minutes ago, we also were able to see a group of people that was believed to be inside of that hotel. So we're going to be walking the area and hopefully getting more one-on-one with people who were around that area or inside that hotel. We'll be back in a bit.
Alicia, thank you. And we're back in a moment with more on this developing situation.
So yeah, Biden's supposed to be going to Texas, but the person in the helicopter said that they're going to have to leave whenever, I don't know if he gets close or when he lands or whatever. He's going to to Dallas for Eddie Bernice Johnson to attend the service. I think it's interesting too that they're focusing on this area here, kind of like this, I don't know, this part that looks busted open from under, maybe, or I don't know. Could that be the source? Or part of the source? ATF. These guys in the hats are with the I guess the power company, or the energy company. They haven't mentioned any casualties, so I guess there's not, unless there's somebody inside the rubble somewhere deceased, but I haven't heard of any casualties, just one serious injury, 11 people injured. Your husband's in Fort Worth. Did he hear the explosion? That's the name of the hotel. It's called SANDMAN. What? SANDMAN Signature. Actually a really pretty nice looking hotel. 5-star reviews. Looks like leveled out. Even the first and second floor leveled out. The one person they had on, that expert, was talking about that he was kind of thinking like, he said it could have been much more worse, to the point of even the building collapsing. So I'm like, bruh. Anytime I hear that building collapsing, it reminds me of like the Surfside, Florida thing. The building came down. Angry girlfriend. That thing got torn up. The first 2 floors. I guess with those ladders by the window, I guess somebody went up. I don't know if they just yelled inside or they actually got inside and checked to make sure nobody was incapacitated. Yeah, what's up with the tornado? You guys have really bad storms right now, Texas? Tornado watch? SANDMAN luxurious hotel. Yeah, it goes right under there. This is in Fort Worth, I guess downtown. Carbon monoxide is kind of scary, huh? You heard the stories of whole families dying in their sleep from carbon monoxide. But, yeah, I guess it's not flammable. It's after the fire, right? Carbon monoxide? Emily, thank you for the 5 months. This thanks, Beth, for always keeping us updated. Yeah, no problem. I am going to come back later, too. I guess like at 9. We'll cover a little bit of Savannah, the bits that there is. There hasn't been too much that's come out. People are desperate for information. Yeah, 11 people injured. What I heard, yeah. I mean, that's what they're saying. They believe it's gas related. They're still investigating it. live 10 minutes away. No, Carly, can you send me that? So Carly, I had seen somebody in the chat, not in the chat, sorry, in the Facebook group. I saw some comments about it, but I had no idea what they were talking about. Carly said like her family getting tattoos with the GoFundMe money. Allah. I mean, I guess they can do whatever they want with it. Maybe that's part of like the, I don't know, the memory or whatever.
To evacuate other people from that building after this happened?
Somewhat. From what I did hear, that they tried to evacuate about 30 minutes prior because, the smell, the odor is so strong. So
we need to. Sorry. We need to get to a press conference that's happening right now. Let's listen in.
Received a structure fire call at the area of 810 Houston Street at the SANDMAN Hotel here in downtown Fort Worth. Quickly after that, we got multiple calls that were coming in that there was a type of explosion. And I want to make sure that when I say explosion, we've got a lot of things that are going on social media right now that are getting a lot of people concerned. There is a smell of gas in the area, and there were windows and things that were blown outside of the structure. So right now, through our investigation, it looks like it is more of some type of gas leak. We have not confirmed that yet at this time, but I do want to make sure that everybody knows there's a smell of gas here in downtown. We're not sure if if the smell of gas was caused from the explosion or the fire itself, or if that's what caused the explosion. But that's what we're looking at right now at this point in time. Within that, we did change this to also what we call a mass casualty incident, meaning we've got multiple patients. We have the ambulance down here. We've got our MCI trailers down here just to make sure that we can take care of, depending on how many patients we do have at this time. I'm being told we've got 11 patients that have been transported to local hospitals at this point in time. The incident itself has went to a second alarm. And we do have Arlington backing up here in downtown just for an added resource if need be. We've got a family assistance center for those that are trying to figure out if they've got loved ones that were involved in this case. It is set up at lot 15 at the Sundance Square parking lot at 200 Fifth Street. Again, that family assistance center is set up at 200 Fifth Street here in downtown at the Sundance Square parking lot. And we also have our emergency office set up and ready to go to help out with resources that need be. I'll open up for a few questions at this point in time.
Can you confirm any heartbeat or talks on the radio about partial collapse of the interior?
I can't confirm any of that at this point in time.
Do you know what part of the hotel it started in? Was it the restaurant?
We were getting reports that it had started in the restaurant. We do know that there was some construction that was being done down at the restaurant. We're not 100% sure that that's where it actually started at this point in time.
Do you know if the 11 people injured were from the hotel, from inside the hotel?
We don't have that information at this time.
What do you know about the extent of any injuries?
You want to talk about the injuries?
Sure. So we've actually assessed 11 patients so far. 1 was critical. 2 had serious injuries. The rest had minor injuries. 9 of those patients so far have been transported to area hospitals. We've had a total of 9 ambulances, and as Craig said, our ambulance is here as well.
There's a couple of years ago, there was a leak in the same area. Do you think this is possibly the age of downtown, the pipes and everything could have possibly led to something like this?
We don't have any confirmation or any intuition on that part right now.
Is there any, do you believe y'all have everybody out of the building?
We are still doing searches throughout the building. At this point in time, I can't tell you that we have done a complete search. It's a multi-story structure, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you accurate information as we go through that. But I can tell you that we are doing a search and rescue throughout the entire building at this time.
And are there any concerns about structural integrity at this point?
At this point in time, our people are going in there trying to make sure that we've got everybody out, and then we'll talk about the structural integrity, after that. But we're just trying to make sure that when we walk out of that building, we can definitively say that we've got everybody removed from that structure.
How many block radius was evacuated after the original sun?
I'm not sure at that time as far as the radius evacuated.
Do you know how long the area is going to be evacuated?
I can't give you a time on that. I can say it's going to be quite some time that we've got some stuff shut down until we can do our preliminary investigation and give you some more answers to those questions in the future. We are going to try to provide an update around every 15 minutes, even if it's just we don't have anything further at this point in time, but to try to keep you updated with the best information that we have as quickly as possible.
Is Atmos on scene, and what is their role right now?
Atmos is on scene right now. They are trying to help us with turning off different gas and stuff throughout the building and the surrounding area.
Keep in mind also the fire department has the media portal, so a lot of the info is going to come either their social media or the media portal on the FD side.
So we're not going to be doing 15 minutes every 15 minutes here at this spot?
Well, until, as far as right now goes, we will, just to have everybody together in one place. And then from there, if it gets to the point to where it's going to be drug out further, we'll make that determination, let everybody know the locations and stuff at that point in time.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Craig Trojic, C-R-A-I-G. Last name is Trojacek, and I'm the Public Information Officer for the Fort Worth Fire Department.
Thank you. And buddy, there's a lot of police response down here, right? Can you explain why we see so many police down there?
Sure. One of the biggest things on the police presence is to set the perimeter. We want to allow Fort Worth Fire to go in there and not just see what the issue is, but make sure we save everybody and we get everybody accounted for. In order to do that, everybody wants to come to the scene and see what's going on. So police have been out here shutting off numerous blocks. We did about a 2-block radius immediately. And as we see the need, we're going to shift those or move those around. So I can't tell you exactly where we are, but it will release a 2-block radius, and that'll move as necessary. We again ask everybody that's listening and watching, please watch from your televisions. We're trying to keep this area just as safe as we possibly can.
We see Air One circling and have been for a little bit. Is that to kind of help keep the airspace closed just in case something happens?
When something happens in the heart of Fort Worth, we ask assistance from every unit and everybody. So you'll see different units that may not belong, like a gang unit. They're here to help. These are our citizens, these are our partners, and we want to bring every resource that we have to help them. Anybody else?
Is there some concern that people are still missing? I'm sorry, I just walked up.
As far as missing, Craig can, I think, I'll let Craig answer that. They're asking
Police, Fort Worth Fire, giving an update on a hotel explosion. So far, they believe it could be related to a gas leak. We're going to continue to listen in to the update from law enforcement.
There was one person that was looking to be accounted for. I'm not sure. That's been
one person
a little bit ago. I'm not sure. We'll have a better answer for that at our next update.
For somebody.
But the last I heard, we still had one person that was unaccounted for at this time.
Would there be a gas for an employer?
I'm not sure at this time.
Were all the injured inside the hotel or happened, or any on the street?
I don't have the answer to that question right now either. I'm sorry.
And how many injured?
11. We have 11 patients total.
11 patients on that. 9 transported.
Oh, sorry.
9 transported.
I'll take it, Greg.
You said one critical. How many serious?
1 critical, 2 serious, the rest minor injuries.
And the 2 that didn't go to the hospital are just dressed on scene?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So what we'll do is we'll give our Spanish media partners an opportunity to get some sound as well. During that time frame, we're going to go back and try to gather some more information. If there's any updates we can provide you with, we'll definitely give those. But we'll go ahead and take a break for now for our Spanish media partners to get the word out. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
You're done.
So
you have been listening in to an update from Fort Worth Fire and Fort Worth Police about a hotel explosion in downtown Fort Worth this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us at 5 o'clock. I'm Brittany Johnson. We continue on with that breaking news of the.
Okay, so they're saying that there was reports that this happened in some type of restaurant inside that hotel. Let me see if they're going to recap.
The SANDMAN Hotel on Houston Street. Officials confirm, again, 11 people have been hurt. 1 person remains unaccounted for. And here is a look from Texas Sky Ranger, where just moments ago, you could see a lot of debris there in the middle of the street. We're being told Encore is on the scene, and people are being told to avoid the area if at all possible. Again, Fort Worth police say that loved ones can reunite at Sundance Square. They have set up a family center there. We want to go ahead and get right to NBC5's Alicia We're live at the scene here. Alicia, what's the latest that you can tell us?
Right now, the mood is really what I want to tell you about. It's pretty calm. People are walking around, some still wondering what is even going on. But there, of course, is a heavy police presence around. We've seen officers in full tactical gear just, surveying the area, making sure that all is well. So that's definitely making people here in Fort Worth feel a little safer. But an hour and a half ago, that mood was completely different. I have Cameron here, also works valet in downtown Fort Worth. So how quickly were you able to see what was going on after you initially felt or heard that explosion?
About like 3 minutes after, I was taking a car to the garage, and I recently entered the garage, and when I took a video, I saw debris all over the road. Police officers just started arriving there. The cars over on the parking lot were blown out. The doors were blown out. The valet stand on that side was also blown out. It's a very tragic day here today, and it's very horrible. I'm sorry.
And we'll move out of the way, Cameron, you and I. That way we can show what's happening behind us. We see some firefighters approaching us, but Atmos.
So they said, for everybody that's just joining, they said that they're still searching the building. There is one person supposedly that's missing that they know of. 11 people injured. One that I think was severe. Was it one critical or two severe? Something like that. And somebody had called in, like they called an expert, and they were talking about like the structural integrity of the building, like could it be compromised? And he said that's a possibility. And when they asked the fireman, he kind of said that he didn't really answer. He just said that I got priorities to search the whole place and get people out. So hopefully, there's no. That's pretty damn scary to think about that potentially, could the building collapse? They were also saying that there was reports of a fire or something in a restaurant, and they said down there, and I saw somebody in the chat earlier mention that there's a restaurant in the basement, and that there was also some construction going on. I'm going to try to confirm that, because I have the website. I'm going to see if I can see anything about the restaurant at this place.
That insight from people who were on the ground so close to where this happened. You all just heard from someone who heard it, but we want you to take a look at this. It's a video that a viewer sent us, a viewer named Shelly. Listen in.
Oh my God, there was just an explosion. Holy cow. Oh my God. It shook the building and everything. Oh my God. What on earth?
If I was her, I'd be getting out of the building I'm in too. But shit, is all these other buildings gonna blow up?
She shot this from the
I'm thinking if that one happened, are these other ones next?
The SANDMAN Hotel, close to where our Alicia Barrera is out there again. She's been speaking to witnesses, people who worked nearby and who had to stop in their tracks and get to safety when this explosion happened. Fort Worth Mayor Maddie Parker released a statement on this as well. It reads, quote, "There has been an explosion incident in downtown Fort Worth this afternoon, and every Fort Worth emergency response agency is on hand responding. We will provide more information as available. My heart and prayers are with those who are injured as we continue managing the response." We want to get back out to Alicia now, because Alicia, we just saw video that is in line with what some of the witnesses you've spoken to on the scene have shared with us. What can you tell us about the family center? They told us that there's an area nearby where they're sending people. Have you seen people coming out there trying to get close to this scene, trying to find loved ones?
As the minutes go by, that's going to be harder because you're seeing more and more presence. So we were actually a little bit shocked to be able to park so close to the scene. So right now, this area where we're standing at, we are at the corner of Houston Street and West 6th, so not far from that hotel. And we have not seen any family, any people looking worried, looking for loved ones. But what I did see earlier, just a few feet from where I'm standing, was a group of people, I'm told by witnesses in the area, that those people had been escorted out from the hotel. So they're making their way over to that family center. Again, right now, haven't been able.
I'm surprised a building that big, a hotel that looks like it was running and functioning. It's amazing it's just 11 people that are injured that we know of. I don't know if there's somebody under rubble, one person missing, but you would think there'd be like a bunch of people that have come out of there like, holy ish, oh my God, whatever. You don't really hear nothing so far. Maybe they've been evacuated. Susan, thank you for the 5, says, welcome to all the new members. Yeah, thank you to all the new members on the channel. Lady Trucker, thank you for the 27 months. Holy crap. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mel and fellow members. Thank you for resubscribing. And Hunt, thank you for the 5. Says Mel. Mel say, "Let's go Cowboys! Let's go Cowboys!" Got me canceled. I used to be when I was into football, I used to like that team a lot.
Hour and a half since this happened. I'll move out of the way. That way we can see again some of that action happening behind me. But I wanted you to hear from, you heard from him actually earlier over the phone, but we were able to make contact with him again. You work about how close to that scene?
I'm just 2 doors down from the SANDMAN.
And we're just going to move over. So right now, Fort Worth PD asking us to move over. So give us a second here as we adjust to make sure there aren't any incidents.
And the firefighter did say there's a smell of gas.
We're going to let you get situated there, and we're going to go ahead and speak with someone from the Fort Worth Police Department. We have Officer Jimmy Polizani on the phone. Officer Polizani, we can look right now live at the scene. What's the latest that you can share with us about this incident?
Well, I can tell you that it's a large police presence along with fire, MedStar. It's a unified command here right now. We are asking the public to avoid the area around 8th and Houston and several blocks around. There's a heavy police presence, fire presence, and the number one thing is scene safety right now.
And can you share a little bit more about what that means? We have crews that are somewhat close to there. We can see how active it is, but we heard the PIO earlier mention that you can still smell the natural gas. Is that potential danger still there for people who can still smell that scent?
That is correct. So that's why the number one thing right now is the scene safety and try to get people outside of the actual zone to vacate that area. So the number one thing in this situation is make sure that the scene is secured and safe, and let first responders for FD to do the search and rescue.
Can you detail for us what exactly is happening with the search and rescue? They're going into the buildings? Are they going into nearby buildings? Can you describe the search for us?
There's one specific building, the actual blast zone location. They're actually going there right now and actually making entry, making sure that there's nobody else inside the building and making sure that the structure is safe.
Making sure that the structure is safe. And right now we have our chopper there giving us a live look as you can see firefighters there in their gear. What are some of the safety precautions that are in place for the first responders that are on this scene? Because we know there are so many and they're doing their jobs, but that danger is present.
That is correct. And that's what first responders do, police and fire, is to make sure that other people are safe and the surrounding area is safe for other people around. So that is our ultimate goal, is to make sure that the scene is safe.
And is the area near the blast zone here, is it fully evacuated at this moment?
Correct. FD has requested that.
Got it. Officer Polizani, just curious from your experience, have you seen a scene or worked an investigation like this that was potentially linked to natural gas? And if so, what do you think is so important for the public to know about an incident like this?
Well, an incident like this, that obviously in a matter of seconds, things could go wrong. And then when it comes to gas, obviously gas sometimes is hard to detect. So I've never seen a situation like this. I've never seen a scene to this magnitude and this kind of incident that I've ever responded in almost my 20-year career.
Wow. 20 years, never seen anything of this magnitude. Can you?
That is interesting. The windows intact on that thing?
I know that you all are currently looking for other people who may still be there. We know that there's still one person who's unaccounted for. But what happens next in the investigation into exactly what unfolded here today?
Well, the next part of the investigation is going to be what the root cause of this incident is. We got to make sure that figure out exactly what transpired this afternoon in this building. So that's going to be the number one focus. Obviously, we're going to be working hand in hand with Eyewitness and Encore and actual city officials building development. So we want to make sure that the structure is safe so we can conduct our investigation into exactly what transpired here today.
Understood. And you mentioned working with several entities and agencies on this. We know that this is an older building. How might the age of the structure have anything to do with what transpired today?
Well, that's too hard to determine. I don't know the exact age of the building, but obviously, from looking at the debris on the roadway, you can see it's a large explosion that took place.
Officer Jimmy Polizani from the Fort Worth Police Department, thank you for taking the time to speak with us and help our viewers further understand this situation. We're going to get back out to our Alicia Barrera, who's live right there, just about a block away from this scene. Alicia, we wanted to give you a moment to get all set up there. What can you tell us now, and who do you have there with you?
So before we get to that, just right now, of course, everything is changing. You asked me earlier if we had seen any families. What I just saw were some employees. There was a young woman wrapped in a blanket, shivering, and employees from that SANDMAN hotel around her, all of them, their eyes puffy from crying. They don't want to be on camera. They say they are so shaken up. I asked them, are you okay? Are there any injuries? And they say none. They're able to walk out of here okay, right? They're still emotionally, of course, trying to process what they just went through. I want you to actually meet Josh. We heard from him earlier today. How far do you work, or how far were you from that explosion when this all happened?
Yeah, so I'm only 2 doors down from the SANDMAN at the Archibald. I have a pizzeria inside, and I had just walked right past it, and I could smell the gasoline because it's super strong walking in, and sure enough, about 3 to 5 minutes later, you could just feel the explosion, and it's been, yeah, it was really scary. At first I thought we got struck by lightning, and so, but then kind of realizing what happened, we ran outside, ran across the street, and that's when we just saw the damage of everything.
And did you see windows shake? Did you feel like exactly in that moment?
Yes, you could feel everything, and then we have a giant chandelier inside the Archibald, and so you could just hear that shatter, and so, yeah, but in the moment you're just kind of like not realizing what's happening, so, but yeah.
And now about an hour later, walking around and seeing, you know, the damage and knowing that there are people, 11 people injured. You just saw that one employee, right? What's going through your mind?
Well, I mean, even right after the going outside, I saw like bloody faces and whatnot, and really seeing the impact of what happened. And even the window shattered across the street, you know, a block down, it really just shows the momentum that the explosion had. So, yeah, it's really scary.
You talk about the smell of that natural gas. Yeah. What have you smelt just in the last, 5 minutes?
I even smelled it even a little bit stronger as of lately, which is even scarier. I'm like, it shouldn't even be this close.
Bruh,
so
I'd be home.
I don't know how. Hopefully they're going to clear it off pretty soon, but we'll see. Yeah.
I ain't hanging around that shit.
Smell it.
Yeah, you can. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, he said it smells even stronger. So people out there reporting that, and even the firefighter, the public speaker guy, he had said that like they're working with, I forgot the name of the company, to close these gas lines, but that they still smell gas all over there. And now you have this person that was literally like 2 doors down from the explosion. And even before the explosion happened, they were all smelling gas. And the explosion happens, and he's like, it smells even stronger now. I'm like, bro, I'll go home. I dip out.
Center, just looked it up. It's probably about a block from here. So we're going to go there and try to speak to some people who... Back to you.
Okay, hopefully they get some more people on. Rhonda, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the 20, your 5th super chat on a live stream. Thank you. If there was construction going on, is it gas or paint? I heard someone smelled paint. I haven't heard anybody say paint yet. I just heard that there was some type of restaurant. There were some calls about maybe a fire or something in a restaurant, I guess under this hotel. I'm gonna try to confirm if it's under the hotel. Somebody said under the hotel. And I'm going to look at their website.
Happen. The other big question is, of course, families who know that their loved ones work around the area or maybe at this particular hotel or knew that they were staying at that hotel. How can I find them? So they have established that reunification center.
So there's 2 restaurants, I guess. Something's called Moxie's. Elevate your experiences of an upscale casual dining. But that almost looks like a standalone thing. I'll read more about it. And then there's a Shark Club Sports Bar and Grill. I don't know if they're just talking about restaurants around them. I'll read up on it.
Not seen them go through here. So I will say that this is very organized. We heard Officer Polizani talk about how there is a huge response here, but it is very well thought out. It is massive response out here, what we're seeing. So for now, that's what we have. But of course, we're very close, so we'll be able to ask those questions and get you the latest.
Awesome. Alicia, thank you so much. Stand by for me for just a moment. We are going to take a bigger view to show people, again, the scope of this scene. We're going to take a moment and go to our Katie Blakey, who has been keeping an eye on the situation for us as well. Katie, tell us what you're seeing from your vantage point out there.
Hi, Brittany. We just arrived here to JPS Hospital, the Level 1 Trauma Center here in Fort Worth, and we just confirmed with fire officials that 4 patients from the scene of the Sandman Hotel. We're taken here to JPS. As we heard in that news conference a little bit ago, MedStar officials saying that there were 11 people injured in that explosion, one of them with critical injuries, 2 with serious injuries, and 9 others with minor injuries. But what we are hearing is that at least 4 people were taken to JPS Hospital. Unclear what their injuries may be, what is happening. But I can tell you, when we talk about a mass casualty event, when we have heard the fire department say that is what they are calling this, you typically think about a lot of lights and sirens, a lot of activity around the hospital and the emergency center. We have not seen that since we have been here on scene, but we do know 4 patients taken here to JPS. We'll be here. We'll try to get some more information on their conditions, what type of injuries they may have experienced. What we're also trying to figure out is the people who were injured, were they all inside the hotel? Were these people who were walking on the street, across the street? That's all information we're still trying to gather at this point. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Our Katie Blakey live for us at JPS Hospital, where we've been told at least 4 people injured in that.
Teddy, thank you for the super chat. The 20 says, love you, Mel. If I wasn't disabled from a car wreck in 2016, I could be a member. Thank you for all your hard work. I've been a sub for 4 years. Thank you so much for the subscription. I'm sorry about the car wreck. I'm always paranoid driving, honestly. Doesn't matter how good you drive, that people out there are nuts. But thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Just that you being subscribed and watching my videos, that helps a lot.
Lot 15. So a lot of information to get through. Still a lot of questions about exactly what happened here. We have updates for you and continue to post information on NBCDFW.com. We'll be right back. This is on your favorite place to watch.
Okay. So we got other things. Well, they brought in, what is that?
You're getting another look now from the chopper, a bit of a higher bird's eye view of the scene here. Again, a ton of debris looking like it could have come from the bottom up, just
bottom up. See, that's the thing we've been talking about. Like, this really interesting how this is the part here with the underground, whatever's under the building or whatever, the basement, whatever is some type of explosion where you have this hole in the ground, what was there? I don't know. I don't know if people are talking about that's where a kitchen was or a restaurant. Jewel Monkey, thank you for the 21 months. Thank you so much for resubscribing. If Mel was working there at the time of the smell, we need oh, hell no. Yeah, I don't know what I would do. I'd be really concerned.
Actually is.
If I'm smelling gas, even just walking in an area, I don't know. Maybe he's, hindsight's 2020, right?
Worth Police Department right now, we've got a tweet up from Tim O'Hare, Tarrant County judge. We know him well. He says information is being gathered on this situation as we speak. In an abundance of caution, I've directed our downtown county buildings to close for the day. Obviously, like we said, it's 5:22. That was going to happen anyway, but just to keep any extra folks that may have needed to go back to the office, finish a meeting, whatever the case may be, they have now been able to go home. And hopefully we're hoping they're safe and out of the way.
This is Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, also getting wind of this. He said, my state team and I are closely monitoring the developing situation in downtown Fort Worth following the gas explosion at a local hotel. Please avoid the area until authorities deem it safe. Again, that has not been deemed safe.
No,
there is
it is not.
An all clear that has been given. Still very much a dangerous situation. He went on to say, we are grateful for the first responders who were on the scene of this accident. I think we can all echo that sentiment.
Yeah, because they've got a very, very busy night and days ahead of them. Want to take a break from this major breaking news in downtown Fort Worth and get you an update on your first alert weather. I want to bring in
Goldie, thank you so much for the 5 stars. My first live, and I subscribed today. Thank you for subbing. I like the channel. I've been watching for about a week. Thank you. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Almost at 200K. I guess they're talking a lot about the weather because they have tornado watches going on in Texas. Let me just switch it up here and see what's going on. Are they all on commercial break? Hangovers getting worse with age. Tell me about it.
I'm Dr. Mike Sirigliano with the
What's the
Fox
advertisement?
Medical Team.
Welcome to People.
That was it. Okay. Let me see. I know they're all taking commercial breaks. Got their live feeds. Biden's coming into town. Not specifically at Fort Worth. He's going to be in Dallas for a service. Biden's coming into town, so let's see. Oh boy, what am I doing? Wonder if the choppers left. There's been a specific person that I've been waiting to talk about this Savannah Soto story, and she hasn't talked about it, and I'm so disappointed. Live traffic conditions. Let's see. WFLA. See if they're on WFAA. Breaking news.
How we make stickers uit sticker app.
Well, everybody's on break right now. So, I don't know. This is something that I guess could probably take quite a bit of time for them to even clear the whole thing out. Any interest on following the Jin Kidd trial? I haven't heard of that. Jin Kidd. And by the way, we have some stuff coming up this month as well that people that have been following me for a while, but if you're new to the channel, you might not know. Sarah Boone has a pretrial hearing happening January 16th. I don't know what time, but we need to be a part of that. If you don't know who Sarah Boone is the woman that locked her boyfriend in a suitcase and left him there to die alive. Not only that, while he was begging and pleading to be let out, she recorded him and was talking shit to him, kind of, and claiming he was a cheater and blah, blah, blah. And then she went upstairs and went to sleep and he died. And that trial has been postponed so many times. Anyway, on January 16, there's a pretrial hearing. Also on January 16, BL tells me these updates. Adam Montgomery has a pretrial as well. That trial is coming up in February. He's being charged with killing his own daughter. Really sad case.
The explosion at the SANDMAN Hotel downtown Fort Worth that happened around 3:32 this afternoon. You can see lots of people are standing out there trying to figure out what's going on. Someone's sitting there on the curb being comforted. Yeah. Wow. You see a little bit of smoke or fog or something in the air. We don't know scientifically what happened, but you can see the debris. Like we told you, what you were seeing on the chopper was one angle. Yeah. That debris is not, I promise you, it is not contained to what you can see on your TV. It is larger, it is more extensive, and it's more intense.
This is going to be from several stories up in a nearby building, and you can see sort of, again, what you were talking about, that dust up. Not sure if that's actual smoke or if it's just dust from the debris that blew up. You can see how far up it has come up. You can see it from that window. But you get the idea that, many people witness this sort of from that vantage point because, again, at the time of the day, the weather's not great. You're thinking people are either in their office buildings or at a hotel, and this is what they're getting to see.
New video, you just saw one. Yeah, I saw someone there on a stretcher being taken into an ambulance, transported to be treated. And again, we
are praying for them.
Yeah, we are. We're so thankful that these numbers are what they are right now because, like I said, I have seen large-scale gas explosions, gas leaks, and it can be so much worse than what we are seeing right now. Not to say that it's not bad, not to say that this is not a traumatic event. I'm just letting you know that we are grateful and praying for the people involved for sure.
Just imagine if we were having a beautiful sunny day out there, a mild day. I know that this area on a Monday, especially people coming back from the holidays, probably for a lot of them their first day back to work, back to the routine. I'm sure they would have been, out and about.
And think about college students.
So no reported deaths so far, which is good. The Jin Kidd, I forgot about this guy. He's supposed to have a preliminary hearing soon. I don't know when. I'm trying to figure out when. This article is posted yesterday. This guy, he is charged with a double murder accused of killing his wife and another man.
29-year-old Ali Abulaban, known on TikTok as
He's had some
Jin
crazy.
Kid, is facing 2 first-degree murder charges.
He has a huge TikTok following, I think, and YouTube.
After his wife and another man were found dead inside an East Village apartment. As CBS 8's Steve Price reports, Abulaban couldn't keep his emotions in check today during a tense day of testimony.
To say Ali Abulaban was agitated in court today would be an understatement. He had multiple outbursts, one so bad the judge had to call a recess. But through all the disruptions, we learned more about his volatile relationship with his wife, Anna, and the day of her murder.
Had sexual relations with her, and
strong reactions from Ali Abulaban to testimony in his preliminary hearing.
okay. Mr. Abulaban?
Sir. I'm sorry, this is news to me. This is hard.
Mr. Abulaban, I can't have any outbursts, and I'm not going to allow you to speak.
Abulaban charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, accused of killing his estranged wife Anna Abulaban and her friend Rayburn Barron inside Anna and Ali's East Village apartment last October.
I heard shots.
Neighbor Carolina Lacerda heard 6 shots and looked out her door.
So Ali coming out of the door, and then he came back in screaming.
What I heard this guy did too is I think he put an audio recording device, I think, in his daughter's teddy bear or something, and then, or I thought that's what it was. And then the thing stayed with the mother or the wife or something. I thought he had some type of audio thing.
Anna, maybe 4 times.
Police say Ali confessed to the murders multiple times, including once on a security video while he was apparently talking to his mom on a cell phone.
He actually said I shot her in the head and killed her.
Several witnesses took the stand Monday, including a detective who talked about Ali's demeanor after the shooting, and that led to another outburst.
You think I wanted this? All right, I wanted this! Who the you?
Mr. Abulaban? Mr. Abulaban, I need you to stop.
My life is destroyed!
Mr. Abulaban, I need you to stop.
The judge ordered a break and things remained calm until after lunch when autopsy photos were shown. Ali's reaction to the photos pushed Anna's family and friends over the edge.
What a piece of shit. Anyway. See what we got here. I'll probably wait for the 15-minute update. Say, let me schedule the other stream for later. Come back later.
¿Cómo fue? Now, of course, everyone at the blast was called from several blocks away. This man heard the blast. Here's the outside.
I don't know if the trial's ready. That was the arraignment. Okay, so let me schedule this thing for 9 later. So they're supposed to be doing an update every 15 minutes. I might wait for this next update, but so far no casualties, which is good. The place smells like gas. They're going to have to clear that entire, I don't know how they're going to do, I guess clear the building and still try to find the source of the gas or whatever, because apparently people are smelling gas in that area still leaking.
It's too harsh.
I feel like it is, but how does it look?
It looks fine.
I'm fine. Yeah.
How long do I leave the Christmas tree decorations up? I don't know. So whenever I get it done, I guess. The sub count is live on the screen. We're at 199, 116. You guys got bad weather tomorrow in Texas? Yeah, that's a sub count on the right side. Amy Lou, thank you for the membership. A lot of crazy going on in the world. There's that one story too that I kind of been meaning to cover. That mother that I believe killed 2 of her kids. I don't know if she's still on the run. There's even a Texas story, a recent Texas story, where a mother killed her, I think an 18-month. We might talk about that later. There was this 12-year-old today that, I don't know, they thought he was taken against his will, but he was found safe. Texas as well. A lot of little things going on all over the place. And with this story, they said there was supposedly one person that they know of not unaccounted for. The feed did tree. Yeah, well, I'll be back at 9. I'm gonna do the Savannah stuff tonight. Hopefully things will align. If the neighbor goes on early or something, I'll jump on early. I don't know if he's coming on or not. It seems like he was gonna come on, so we could watch his stuff and go over some of the few things that I pulled up and talk about. Dick and Mel also have Murdoch trial jury end of a month. They've got to find out what time that is. There's a lot of stuff happening at the beginning of this month, or at the end of this month, that could cause overlapping. I don't know what we're gonna do. Gotta do Murdoch. Gotta do Harmony. Carlos. Supposedly, one of the neighbors. I didn't get to watch it. The one night we didn't watch his stream, some neighbor came out and started yelling at him. I don't want you recording me. Something like that. He got off. And, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to transfer you guys because I set up the stream now. I'm going to transfer you over there and just hit set reminder on there. In case I go earlier or later. Or Lito's way. When you get to the stream, just go, click notify me. It should notify you anyway. But just in case the time changes, I would just go, boop, notify me. Gigi said, everyone's going on about taking their Christmas tree down, and mine's been up since 2020. Listen, if it wasn't for, like, the woman in my life, my mother and family, and the tree would probably stay up for all year round. But it's like, oh, you're going to take it down? When are you going to take it down? Oh, shit. Almost fell off the damn chair. I should be up all year round. Carlos came on one time after the time that we did, from what I know. But he had not an altercation, but some neighbor was going off on him. It's funny to see people on Facebook telling him, like, oh, what he's doing is illegal or whatever. It's like, he can do whatever he wants from his house. He can do whatever the hell he wants. It's TikTok famous. It's good for your mental health. Yours up 4 years? The good reason for me to take it down would be so I can kind of clear that space and move my plants back into the normal area. I don't think they're happy where they're at right now. Mo said I left my tree up all year for 1 year and decorated for each holiday. was so much fun. Maddie would love it. Carlito's way. Melanator, what's up? But yeah, I'm gonna get off for a little bit because I don't know. I'm gonna go try to do a little exercise right here, cook something, I guess. Get the homework done with Maddie, and then come back when Carlos comes back. Carlito. Chris, thank you for the membership. So, and of course I'll update this story, whether it's one of like the streams that we're doing something else or whatever. So far, thankfully, there's no casualties. So far, one missing person. So I don't know what's going on with that. All right, guys. So I'll see you later. Love you. Bye. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Está finco.